Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. I am super excited. Let's get people in here for day 4. And if you are joining us inside of Facebook, so glad to have you. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So glad to have you guys here. Let me just make sure we are recording. Hey, Jen, how are ya? Let's see. Come on. Whoops. Yay, we're recording. Hi, Kristen. How are you? I'm so glad we get to have a conversation tomorrow. Yay. And we've got Erin back and Chrissy and Marissa, Daniela, Miss Helen, Miss Lori Grace. I get to chat with you today. Simona, Cynthia, Sonia. Everybody, go ahead and pop in the comments in the chat that you are here because we need to make sure that we are getting everybody's name so that we can put you all in the drawing for the free Six-Figure Foundations program. Really, really excited to have you guys here. So go ahead and pop in a yes if you're ready to get started. We are going to be diving all into the connect and the invite, which is actually going to help you get your next 3 clients. So who's excited about bringing on 3 paying clients? Like in the next week? Like, would that not be amazing if you're like, holy crap, I just got 3 clients this week? I'm going to give you the exact thing to do today. It's the same thing that I do. It's the same thing I teach my clients. We actually hone it and master it inside of Activate Abundance Academy, but I'm going to tell you exactly what to do and who to reach out to. And we're going to get all of the crazy nonsense that makes everything feel so darn complicated out of the way. Because the truth is, when we get to this stage, when we are in the connect and the nurture stage, I'm sorry, we're in the connect and the invite stage, y'all have done the hard work already. Like, really, it's really funny because most people think, oh my gosh, like this is the hardest part. Now I actually have to, invite somebody to work with me. Actually, you've done the hard stuff already. You've done the hard stuff already. So I just want to let you guys know that you are in for a treat because what we are learning or what you have learned so far, we're going to tie it all up in a bow today. And then you guys are going to have a very specific action step that you can take to bring in your next 3 paying clients. Just a reminder, Activate Abundance is open, and we are making sure that we let everybody know that the bonuses are only lasting until April. The discount, the pricing bonus is actually only open until tomorrow. So just want to let you guys know that the investment for joining us inside of Activate Abundance Academy, that discount is only available until tomorrow. So normally it's a 15K program. It is open for enrollment now. You can make one payment of 12K, or you can put down a deposit of 997 and then make 12 payments of 997. So that's the special pricing. After Friday, it's going back up to 12 payments of 1111. We'll keep the pay in full at 12K, but the payment plan is going to be higher, and you will lose the month of live coaching with me. So just remember the next couple people, we're almost done with this, but the next couple people that say yes to Activate Abundance Academy get live private coaching with me for 30 days, unlimited calls. Unlimited calls, Voxer access. Like, my only goal is to help you get some paying clients so that you can see that it's absolutely possible and see that you can actually make your investment back inside of Activate Abundance Academy. Wouldn't that be cool? You paid for your entire investment. We've had people do it their first 30 days. One of my clients made $26,000 in her first week, paid it all off and then some. So we're going to dive in today to, let me pull up my workbook here. We are in the home stretch now, and we are diving into what is left is our engine. It's our client conversion engine. And so I'm going to take you through that today. And then we're also going to give you some action steps so that you can know exactly what to do to bring on your next 3 paying clients. So while I'm pulling this up, I would love to know from everybody, what is one thing so far that you're taking away from the sessions? What is one thing that you're taking away so far? An aha, an insight, something that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that, or phew, that's a relief. I don't have to do that craziness, right? So go ahead and pop in the chat for me. What's one thing that you are so excited about taking away? Like, whew, I mean, there's a reason why you guys are back for day 4. So I'm so glad to actually serve you here and to help you create a much easier way to not only create a six-figure business. And by the way, you guys, it really is not difficult to create a six-figure business. Like it's not. I know it feels like it because you're not there yet or you don't have the consistent income stream yet. But I'm telling you, this is really simple. When you have a simple, repeatable daily system, like Jennifer says, it makes things so much simpler. And when you have a signature framework and a signature offer, you're like, okay, now I know where I'm leading. So thank you, Kristen. All right, guys, we're going to dive in. Day 4, connect and invite. So if you remember from yesterday, if you were here from yesterday, the what we talked about was the engine of the attract, the nurture, and the invite, right? We kind of had that Venn diagram where they all overlapped with each other. And so just a quick recap, we need all 3 of those things happening on a daily basis. And actually the nurture part is a combination of nurture and connect. And here's why. If we are missing, this is actually a system. If we are missing any part of that pathway, there's a pathway that our clients go on. If we're missing any part of that, we're breaking the system and they actually can't become a paying client, right? And here's why. We can attract people into our ecosystem. And if they're the right client, fantastic. But if we don't nurture them and connect with them before we ask them to buy something, they're not going to be a paying client. There's not enough trust built, right? There's not enough like, yeah, I feel seen, I feel heard, I'm clear, I think this is going to help me, right? So we absolutely have to do something on a daily basis to attract the right client into our ecosystem. And we talked a little bit about the 30% of the people that aren't really willing to do anything about their problem, and the 67% that we're actually looking for. Those are the people who are actually looking for you too, by the way. So it's actually going to be really amazing where we get to kind of meet in that middle there. They're already looking for a solution and they're willing to do something about it. So we don't have to convince or persuade them that they should be doing something, right? And the beauty of that part is that if they're looking for us, then they're going to be the ones that are also going to be raising their hand. So that 67% are the people that are not just our ideal client, because we can have an ideal client, but if an ideal client is not actually ready or willing or capable to do anything, then they're not actually the right fit clients. We talked about that yesterday. So attract, nurture, and then if we nurture, we also have to make that invitation, right? If we don't ever invite somebody, if we don't ever tell them, hey, this is how you can get support. And look, here's what we're doing. We're not saying, do you want to buy my thing? Do you want to sign up for my 90-day program? We're saying, based on our conversations that we've had, and we're going to talk about that because the connect piece is when we are turning relationships that we are having one-to-one into clients without pressure, without pressuring them, without pressuring you. And oh my gosh, you guys, we just get to take this big load off our shoulders that we need to try to overcome objections or convince them or persuade them or any of that. No, you don't. No, you don't. So let's dive into this because this is where your conversations and the clarity around what you are offering them come from confident invitations. And I just want to remind you that your paying clients, your next 3 paying clients are already in your world right now. They are not going to come from more content. They're going to come from conversations that you have, okay? And confident invitations. So if we return to the house real quickly, we talked about the sidewalk, right? They're walking along the sidewalk. We want to get their attention. They come have a seat on the bench. That's one to many where they get to have an experience. They get to learn something. They get to have value with you. They're actually learning that inside of a hub. And your hub is a place where you are bringing your ideal clients who are looking for the solution that you provide. They're not buyers yet, but they are interested. They've downloaded your freebie. They want to come to a workshop. They're interested. They meet the parameters of your ideal client. Okay. And so when we bring them into a hub, that allows us to nurture them in a one-to-many capacity. Your hub can be, for me, it's my Facebook group. It's also my Substack. So for those of you that are here watching on Substack, I'm so glad you guys are here inside the Soulful Abundance Letters. For those of you that are watching on Facebook, that is the Soulful Abundance Hub, right? So these are the places where no matter where anybody finds me, if they heard me on a podcast, if they downloaded a freebie, if I met them in person, if I met them in another group or another program or online somewhere, this is where I want them to come because this is where I can nurture them with more value and also connect with them. So this next piece that we're going to dive into is the connect piece. And this is where we're actually, these are the things that actually bring somebody into our house, which is our offers. Okay. You guys with me so far? I know I'm talking a little bit fast right now. I want to make sure we get through everything today. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, go ahead and just pop a big capital C for connect, a C for clarity, because this is not where you sell. I should have underlined that and put it in bold. When you are connecting with somebody, we are not trying to sell anything at all. All we are doing is to build trust with them. We're trying to create clarity and understand where they are, what they're looking for, what they might have tried to solve their problem, and help them to create a win. Okay, that is what the intention of connecting with somebody one to one is. So it's not selling, it's building trust, creating clarity for you and for them. Is this somebody who you could actually help? Because so many times I see coaches trying to sell somebody into something that might actually not be the best fit for that person, right? And so you're spending this time and energy trying to get somebody to buy something that is, you haven't even identified whether that something is the best fit for them and if it's actually going to solve the problem, or even if they're willing, like they might not even be looking to have that problem solved right now, right? So connection is, so Simona says it's basically inviting them to join with a message that includes logical support, not join my program. Yeah, I'm going to give you some specific messaging for that today, Simona. So we're not actually inviting them into a sales conversation. We are simply engaging in a game of catch. That's all it is, right? So we're not saying join my program. We're not even saying do you want to buy my thing. We're just saying, you know what? Hi, I'm so glad you're here. How are you? Tell me what's going on with you, right? So it's one to one though, right? So this is where we would send a DM to somebody who has just joined your Facebook group. Or maybe you're going to send a DM to somebody or a personal message or a text message or a video message or a voice message to people that have either, come to your workshop. Like you guys right now are going to start getting some messages from me if you haven't already gotten some messages like, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Like, tell me what's coming up for you. What's something that you're taking away from day 3 or day 4, right? Are you interested in having, more support to kind of bring this together? This is a way for me to just kind of hear where you are and then ask you before I invite you into anything, like, is this something that you're even looking for more support around, right? Because if you're not, it doesn't make any sense for me to invite you into learning more about Activate Abundance Academy if you're like, nope, not interested at all. Like, I'm good where I am. I don't feel like I need support. Okay. So connect is actually inviting somebody into a conversation. And again, that can be a DM, it could be a call, it could be an assessment or an audit. Many of my clients do an assessment or an audit to give somebody value and connect with them in a one-to-one capacity. Yes, we're still in the initial phase of connection. Exactly, Simona. We don't even talk about our program or invite them to learn more about the program until we get to invite. Yeah. So it's helping them also get clear on their problem, right? Like if someone joins my Facebook group and they raise their hand and they're like, yes, I want, my next 3 paying clients, then the DM isn't, oh, great, come join me inside of Activate Abundance Academy. That's where we're going to help you do that. It is, great. Tell me what you've tried so far. Like, what have you tried so far to actually bring in a paying client? That way I can understand specifically where they are and I can say, oh, okay, great. So I see that this is happening here. There's a couple pieces that you're missing. Would you like to hop on a business assessment or an audit? And I can take a look at more of the deeper stuff. Or if they're like, yeah, absolutely, great. Well, then I get to connect with them in that one-to-one capacity on Zoom, which is my favorite because I want to see you, right? I want to see you. I want you to see me. Y'all, many of you who I just see your names or your photos, I actually don't get to see you. Like, I want to see you. So in Zoom, you have your camera on. I've got my camera on. I can look into your eyes. You can look into mine. You can ask your questions, and I can actually assess where you are. And truly, by the time that that conversation ends up finishing on many, many times, it what ends up happening is they're like, okay, yeah, this sounds great. Like, so how could I work with you? And here's the way I handle that. When somebody is invited into a conversation, like a 15-minute assessment, which many of you guys have taken advantage of, my intention is not to try to sell you into anything, is to help you create clarity and to feel safe and trust that I am who I am, and I am a business coach and I can absolutely support you and I can give you some nuggets and some quick wins. If I'm on that call and someone says, great, like, well, how could I work with you? I'm very, very clear that that is not what the conversation was. If I have time, I'll say, you know what, I've got an extra 15 minutes. I'm happy to share what that would look like if you're interested. If not, totally fine. We can, set up another call for tomorrow or the next day, right? So we want to use the connection piece as a way to guide them to see what's really going on. And this is something that 99% of the coaches out there are not doing. I'm telling you, you guys, if you get this system dialed in, attract, nurture, connect, and really guide them to see what's going on, and then make the invitation, you will be further along and so much closer to your business goals than what many people are doing in the online and the in-person space. Okay. This gets forgotten. It's like, oh, okay, they're responding. Let me make a pitch, right? Anybody have that in their DMs? Hi, so great to be friends with you. Can I ask you a question? And I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Right, here comes the pitch. Like, not any type of interaction, not, following for a little while. We're not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. Connecting is not pitching, it's not selling, and it's not trying to close. So when I tell you that, how does that feel? Hopefully you've kind of felt like a sigh of relief and you're like, okay, phew, right? And here's why this matters. When we are trying to connect with somebody and sell at the same time, the energy feels wonky. Why? Because we're not actually being fully present for them. We're thinking about, am I saying the right thing? What if they say they don't have the money? What if they say that they need to think about it? How am I going to overcome the objection? Like, we're not even really fully present, right? So that is one of the reasons why we only want to have our connection piece with the intention of serving, with the intention of serving. Okay, we're going to help them get a win first with the intention of serving, and we're just going to connect and be there for them. That way, the energy is clean. The energy is clean. Okay, so I hope this makes sense because this feels so good when you're doing it, and it doesn't even take a long time. It can be like, amazing. I'm so, so glad to help you. I'm so glad to support you. I'm so glad to help you get a win. So the goal of connection is to help them create a win before they ever say yes to working with you. Now, I also want to be clear, when you connect with somebody, you are not giving away a 1 hour coaching session. You are not really coaching them to a result. Okay. That comes when somebody works with you. Okay. What we're doing is we are helping to uncover what is going on and what's in the gap, and helping them to create a piece of that puzzle, right? A piece of that puzzle. So it might look like helping them see what's not working. It might be identifying what the real block is. It might be giving them a powerful shift in perspective. All of that is really, really valuable. So regardless, they're going to walk away feeling completely supported, and you're going to walk away feeling like, yep, I did my job. I'm here to support. Okay. So this is the identity that we get to take on here. We are empowered leaders, and our role in having conversations and being real people is not to convince, to push, or to prove. We're here to listen, understand, and guide. What a difference, right? I know, right? Like, oh, we don't have to convince. We don't have to push. We don't have to prove. We just want to be present and listen. She's in your world for a reason. If she downloaded your freebie, she did it for a reason. If she came to a workshop that you're doing, she did that for a reason. She's looking for a solution, right? And look, it doesn't really matter right now if she's a yes right now in this moment because we're not even going there, right? We just want to connect and be a real human. So when someone expresses interest, I just want you to kind of check in. What is it that you currently do? What do you do? Some of you might not know what to do, and that's okay. Like nobody taught me this either. I had to learn it as well, right? Some people will just wait for people to say, "Oh, well, they'll just let me know when they're ready to work with me." You could certainly do that, but again, what you would be missing then after that conversation is what we want to go into next, which is the actual invitation. So, here's some things that you can kind of just do a quick reality check. Are you jumping too quickly into your offer? Right? Are you like, oh, somebody asked me about this. Let me just, try to close the deal today. Or are you avoiding inviting somebody just into a real conversation? This is when we just want to take a beat, right? Take a beat and not actually try to sell something, but actually invite them into a deeper conversation. And it could be as simple as just asking another question. Oh, that's a really great question. Could you tell me more about that? Oh, that's a really great question, right? Or do you just completely skip? Do you ghost them, right? They follow up after, are they engage back and you're like, oh, yep, I'm just not going to actually get back to them at all. So this is where your connection invitation is is simply a way to invite somebody into a conversation. Would you like to talk this through? I'd love to help you get clarity. Want to hop on a quick call? I actually have a short assessment we could walk through together if that would support you. That's not salesy. That is actually being of service to somebody. And it is so, so important that we don't leave this part out. Okay. So the other thing that I want to share about this piece is that you can also do this connect invitation with people that have downloaded a freebie, right? So some of you that are inside of Activate Abundance Academy now, or the lead magnet that monetizes, you've got leads coming in. There are people that are downloading your freebie today, right? And so the next step is to actually reach out and say, hi, Chris, thank you so much for downloading my get your next, 3 clients handout. I'm so excited. Like, tell me what is coming up for you. And if they say, oh, I haven't had time to look at it, which happens, great. You're just like, great, I get it. Life's, right? Like we all get busy. Would you like to hop on a quick call and I can walk through it with you? Would you like to hop on a quick call and I can walk through you with it? Or walk it, you know what I'm saying? My tongue just went blah, blah, blah. So when we're doing that, again, it's in service. It's not let me walk you through this freebie and get you to close the deal. So there's some space here for you to write your own version of what feels good to you. What feels good to you. If this is making sense, I want you to give me a big heart in the chat. Or big heart, give me some love here. If this feels better than trying to convince or persuade or drag somebody across the finish line or get them to see that they really should be, buying your thing. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, Jen. Come on, guys. Oh, give me some love. Okay, good. Aaron, Sonia, fantastic. Fantastic. Good, good, good. So the reframe around this is your job is not to sell in the conversation. Thank you, Lori. It's to connect. It's to connect. It's to get into just a little game of catch, to explore, to guide, to ask questions, to support. Okay. Thank you, Marissa. It does. I go too far the other way and end up in the friend zone. Oh, yeah, yeah. Anybody else do that, right? You're like, oh, let me just help you for free and give everything away, right? Yeah, there is a boundary there. And that's one of the reasons why when we hop on chats, we want to keep it to 15 minutes, right? Why? Because it is not a sales conversation. It is to help them to create a small win. We're not solving the whole problem. If they want your help solving the whole problem, then they get to work with you, or they get to, get your blueprint session, right? Or they get your low ticket offer, or they get a way that they can actually pay for your support. Yeah, great. Thank you, Daniela. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to take a look at people that are in your warm audience. And this is important. These are not cold leads, but here's what I want you to remember. Your warm audience is everywhere. everywhere. It could be in programs that you're currently in with people. It could be a collaborator. It could be in other Facebook groups. It could be friends. It could be referrals. It could be friends of the family. Like, I'm only asking you to make and I love to call it a love list of 10 people, just 10, that you will reach out and just connect with. Just connect with. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad to have you here in my Facebook group. Hi, thank you so much for commenting on my Substack post. Hi, thank you so much for downloading the XYZ thing. Hi, thank you for so much for commenting on my post. What stood out for you? Right? These are 10 people that we are going to reach out to personally and privately. Okay, so that means that if they made a comment on your Facebook, you're actually going to go in the DMs and you're going to say thank you. Thank you so much for commenting. If you have their text number, because that's how you normally communicate with them, then you would send them a text message. Hey, just checking in with you. This can also be past clients, people that weren't ready yet, people that you've connected with in other programs or events, right? There are probably 200, if not more, people in your warm market right now that you're not even aware of. So we're just going to start with 10. Okay. So when you make your list of 10, and I just want to get into another handout real quick. So hang on just a minute, because I'm actually going to guide you now what to do that is actually going to take these 10 people into turning into your next 3 paying clients. So hang on just a moment. There we go. Great. So here's what I want you to do for your 10 people. We're going to start, like I said, with your warm market, past clients, people who said not now, anybody who's engaged with your content, anybody who's come to a workshop or a Facebook Live or commented on your posts, any warm followers, or anybody who actually came on your email list. Okay? So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Okay? Could you find 10 people that fit into those categories? Yes? No? Yay. Oh, thank you, Simona. Yeah, give me a yes if you think surely there are 10 people in your warm audience right now. Yes, absolutely. 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 If you can't find 10 people, we got to chat. We got to chat. You better book that 15-minute session with me because they're everywhere. Absolutely. Okay. So go ahead and give me a big yes. Great. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Victoria, Angela, V, Kristen, Paige, Aaron, Victoria. Give me a yes here. You can certainly find 10 people in your warm audience. Yeah. Cool. Fantastic. Okay. So what we're going to do with those 10 people, and I also do want to clarify that this is not a cold pitch and it's not a cold outreach. Okay. The fastest path to actually bringing on a paying client is when you're connecting with real people that you're already had that has already had some sort of experience with you. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to invite those 10 people just into a conversation. That's it. We're not even inviting them to work with us yet. We just want to invite them into a conversation, right? And it could look like, it could sound like this. I'm going to give you some simple messaging that you can use. By the way, this is being recorded. So if you need to go back and rewatch it, we'll keep the replays up until the 30th of April. You can go back and you can simply say, hey, I was thinking about you, wanted to reach out. Like, thank you so much for downloading the freebie. Or last time we connected, you mentioned whatever their situation was. I'm curious, where are you with that? Is this something that you're still working towards? Is this something you're still working towards? Not a pitch, not an offer. We're just opening the door. That's it. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad to have you here in my Facebook group. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for showing up for my Facebook Live. So glad to have you here. Tell me, what part of this are you still working on? What are we doing? We're listening, we're understanding, and we're guiding, right? So it's simple, it's easy. We don't need to like make it some big, long, drawn out anything. And then based on what it is that they say, that's going to tell you where to lead the next conversation, right? If they say, no, actually, I'm not really interested in that anymore, or I'm not really working on that anymore, or whatever, great. Then you can say, awesome. I'm so glad you have the support that you need. Right. I've had many people that I've been in touch with over the years. And when I reach back out with them, they're like, actually, I decided to close that part of my business down. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, I'm so, so glad that you found something that makes you happy. Or they might say, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm already working with somebody. I'm like, great. I'm so glad you have the support that you need. Right. This is just a real conversation. We're not trying to convince or persuade. Right. Okay. So we want to then respond and just ask them where they are right now. What is feeling stuck or frustrated for them, right? We're qualifying to see where they are, where they're stuck. Have they tried solving it yet? What are they working towards? So, just these three questions, we're going back and forth into a conversation, just being a real person, right? And we're just saying, tell me more about that. So, what feels most frustrating for you around this? Where are you stuck in doing this? What have you tried before that is not working? Like, tell me a little bit more about that. And this can all happen in the DMs. What we're doing is we're trying to understand what they want and what they need. Okay. And then if it sounds like you can help, then we can move into inviting them into a conversation. And that conversation can be either inviting them to explore having support, or it could be, you know what, I think I could really help you with this. I've got an assessment. Is this something that might serve you? Right? Depending on how long that person has been in your world and the level of um, relationship that you have, right? So if someone's been in my world for a while and they've come to multiple workshops of mine and we've been in the DMs before and I've shared value already, then, and I ask, I'm like, is this something you're still working on? And if they say yes, then I'll ask them, are you interested in exploring having support around it? Right? Why? Because the connection's been there already. If I don't have that level of connection yet, then I might say, would you like some support around getting this piece fixed? I have a business assessment. It's 15 minutes. We can hop on this call, and I'm happy to see how I can help you create some movement here. Is this something that might serve you? Is this something that might serve you? Okay. So, how does this sound to you? Does this sound salesy? Does this sound like I'm trying to like convince or persuade somebody or like, oh, you got to buy my thing? It's not bro marketing. It is it's pull marketing, right? It's like they're moving towards you, right? It's not like we're forcing anything. It's like we're asking questions, we're engaging like a real normal person, right? And we are real normal people. So when you are at the point then that you're like that you feel like, gosh, I could really help her with this, then you can simply say, hey, Helen, thanks. Like, based on what it is that you're sharing with me, I really think I could help you with this. Are you interested in hearing what that could look like for you? Are you interested in exploring what support around that would look like for you? That's it. We're just asking if they're interested in exploring what the support would look like. We're not saying, are you interested in joining my program and giving me your credit card? Right? Are you interested in exploring what having support around would look like that for you? And if she says yes, great. Say, awesome. I've got a couple times this week, or I've got some time next week, or how about if we book a 15-minute chat and I can share, can hear what's going on more deeply with you on a conversation, and then just share the best resource, the best fit for you. Okay. If she says no, great. Not a big deal. Like it's totally okay. Like no, we do not die with no's. If she says no, then you can say, great, what are you looking for? Let me help you get that. Like if this is not the time for you to get support, no problem. Like, what are you looking for? Because clearly she's in your world for a reason, right? So my job and my intention in any of these conversations is to help them create a win. Help them create a win. And if it is moving into a conversation with me about how I can support them, great. If it's not because they're not interested or they are not looking for support or whatever, great, totally fine. But the people that say no, then that's totally fine. Like they typically are going to give me some context. No, I'm moving right now. Now it's not the best time for me to do this. Okay, no problem. Like, do you have a timeline? I'll, circle back around with you at a later time, right? Or no, I'm not really interested. I'm working with somebody else. Okay, great, no problem. Like, so glad you have the support that you need, right? That type of conversation and energy is safe. Can you feel it? Can you feel how you are a safe person to actually have a conversation with? Because when we get into trying to convince or persuade or drag somebody across the finish line, that energy feels wonky. And it feels wonky for you, and it feels wonky for them. And they might not know why it feels off. They just know it feels off. And whenever it feels off, they're out. They're like, oh, that just that kind of feels weird. Like, I don't, right? So our intention here with the connection is simply to ask questions, connect with them one to one, and then as you're learning more, you can simply say, are you looking for support around this? This is certainly something that I can help you with. If you're looking to have support to solve this problem, right? Not join your program. If you're looking for support to solve the problem that you guys have been going back and forth talking about, happy to hop on a quick chat. Nobody wants to give you an hour of their time, a quick chat to talk about options to support you in this. Is this something that you're open to? Is this something that you're interested in? Is this something that would serve you? Okay. So pop in the chat. How does that feel in your body when you hear me talk about that? How does that feel in your body when you hear me talk about that? Relaxed. Good. Calm. Excellent. Good. Oh, you feel a little nervous. Interesting. Yeah, but not salesy. Yeah, look, it's normal to feel a little nervous because you're trying something new, right? Totally fine and resonating. Relaxed. Better. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. And look, guys, this does take practice. It does. Like, I've been doing this since 2015. So, and I teach this every single day, and I have conversations with my clients about this all the time. So, right now, if you're listening to me and you're going, oh my gosh, like, she's just like pulling words out of the air, it's just something that I have done over and over and over. So yeah, Daniela, totally something that you can just practice, right? And here's the thing, you guys, it's okay to just let it be imperfect. The truth is there are no perfect words. There are no perfect words. It what matters more is your energy, your confidence, and how you are feeling. I was actually talking to a friend of mine recently, and one of the things that came up was objections, right? And I don't really believe that people have objections. If they're on a call with me, they're on a call with me for a reason, which means they're looking for support, even if it's a free assessment, okay? What happens is that people bump up against some sort of resistance. But you guys know the number one place of resistance that kills the sale? I'm curious. Do you guys know what the number one place that actually kills the sale? It's actually the biggest block to somebody. Nope, it's not pushing, but that is on there. It's not the price. Nope, it's your confidence. It's your energy. When you are not enrolled in yourself, when you are not feeling grounded and confident in your own self and in your own offer and in your own ability, that kills it because they can feel it. They can feel it. That's why whenever we talk about making more soulful sales and making more enrollments, the first step is to be enrolled in you. First step to be enrolled in you. The biggest objection that you will overcome when you're building and growing your business is your own, right? It's your own. We're like, I'm not sure if I can do this. Am I doing it right? But like that is the place that actually is keeping us from not just enrolling clients, but actually showing up and doing the work, taking the actions that actually turn into clients, right? So I want to ask you guys something. I'm just curious. How many one-on-one conversations have you had with people this week? Helen, I know you've got some on there. Jennifer, 4. Amazing. Great. Great. How many one-on-one conversations have you had with people in your warm audience this week? This is just fact. We're just looking for facts here. We're not looking for judgment or blame. Helen, 5. Okay, great. Good, good, good. So if you don't have any conversations going, you know that that's where the system is breaking. That's where the system is breaking, right? If you don't have any active conversations going, then we are missing that piece. Okay. So the 10 people that you just wrote names down for, if you have conversations with those 10 people, 3 of them are most likely to actually become paying clients. So if you want 3 paying clients, go have 10 conversations. Who wants 3? Who wants 3 paying clients this week? Who is willing to just be a real person and have 10 conversations? Hi, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. Are you still working on this? It doesn't have to be difficult, you guys. Like the problem is here. It's in between our ears, right? It's up here. The overcomplication, the worry, the doubt, the fear of what they're going to think about you. Let me tell you something. Nobody is thinking anything bad about you. They're really, really not. We're worried about what they're thinking about us, and they're worried about what we're thinking about them. That's the truth, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to like tell her what's really happening with me because I feel like I should have figured this out, right? She's the expert, right? That's really what's happening on the other side, right? So confidence is going to be a way for you to just keep the energy clean, have these 10 conversations. And when you have these 10 conversations, and I want you to do it like within the next week, y'all. Like, we're not going to like say 10 conversations in 30 days. Like, how quickly do you want a paying client? How quickly do you want a paying client? Like, you're here to grow a real business, right? We're not here. Like, if you were to have 10 conversations this week in the next 7 days, you will be bringing on at least one paying client, at least one, right? Yes. So what is coming up for you guys? Pop in the chat here so that I can talk specifically. Okay? Because the truth of what happens when it comes to client conversion is that it's not all about more followers and more content. It is about taking a look at who you have in your world right now. You're just not having enough real conversations. And we can see that with the numbers that you guys popped in here, right? 0, 2, 3, 4, which is great. I'm so glad that some of you are having conversations, but you're not having enough, right? Growing a business growth does not come from broadcasting. It comes from conversations. Where do clients come from? Pop in the chat. Where do they come from? Conversations. Yes. Cynthia Melton. Yes. Clients come from conversations. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can totally answer that. So when you're re-engaging a Facebook group, and that really kind of goes back to the nurture piece, which is one to many, Helen. And yeah, and so Erin, I can totally talk with you about that too. So you guys have some really great questions. It's just not at the stage that we're talking about with the connect and the invite. It's before that, right? Which is fine. So when we are re-engaging a Facebook group, let's say we have a Facebook group and you feel like you want to re-engage, there's a lot of different ways to do that. There are, simple ways could be to share something of value. Go live in your Facebook group. Just go live and say, hey guys, I'm going to go live today. I'm going to share, Helen is an expert on helping women get off the diet roller coaster, who are also struggling with shame around GLP-1s or either wanting to come off GLP-1s, right? So Helen, you could say, here's 3 things that I learned about, right? The more you show up and ask questions in your Facebook group, the more people will respond. Okay, so it's not necessarily about having the right piece of content at that point. It's about showing up consistently and regularly. Yeah. And Erin, if you don't have a private Facebook group yet, how do you find these people to have a conversation with without feeling forced? So remember, can go to past clients. You can go to people who you've had conversations with. You can go to people who are in your world, people that you are in programs with, right? There are people all over the place. And remember, you're not forcing a conversation because you're not asking them to buy anything. We're not asking them to buy anything. The conversation is simply a conversation. That's all it is. It should not feel forced. It should simply just feel like, hey, who are my women who are getting stuck in this piece and would like my freebie on XYZ? Like comment free and I'll send it your way. Right? There are so many ways that you can start creating value for people. Yeah. So Helen said the more important question is when I connect with somebody I haven't connected in a while, what do I say with them? Yeah, say hi. I haven't connected in a while. I'd love to know how you're doing. Exactly. Just wanted to check in with you. How are you doing? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how would that feel to you? When I come up with messaging, I think about how would it feel to me if somebody sent me that message? If someone said, "Hey, Chris, you just popped in my mind and you're in my Facebook group and I just wanted to reach out and say hi. I'm glad you're here. How are you doing? Haven't talked in a while." Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, remember, the intention is not to try to make a sale. We're not trying to move the conversation from just that personal reach out to, okay, now we got to get them into a sale. We're not doing that. We take several beats. Oh, so glad to hear that. Or, oh, I'm so sorry you haven't been feeling well. Are you still working on whatever it is that you remember from your last conversation? Right? Yeah. So I hope that's helpful. Yeah. And Erin, again, you don't have to have a private Facebook group to find the people to have a conversation with, but it's going to make it a lot easier when you are building and growing your business to have a hub, right? It's to start growing a hub so that you can bring people into your group who are interested in the solution that you can provide. And when they join your group, they're doing that for a reason. Yeah. What can we do with people who foresee that these conversations will possibly lead to a future sale and therefore decide to avoid it? Okay, so Simona, if you are that is such an interesting question. So basically what you're telling me is that somebody could be a paying client for you and you're not willing to have a conversation with them about getting support. Is that right? Because it feels uncomfortable, right? Yeah. If you're avoiding it, then it's not a strategy issue. It's not a what to say issue. It's either a confidence issue or you're making it about you instead of making it about them. Because the truth is, if you are making it about you and you're avoiding it because you're uncomfortable, that's not serving them. If you are really worried about making sure that somebody else is taken care of, if you are really looking for how you can serve somebody the best, you're not making it about you. You're asking, how could you serve them? Right? That's the key. You guys got into this work for a reason. Yeah, bye, Kristen. Absolutely. Yeah. So, really, really important here that you are clear around your own energy. And if you know that you're avoiding conversations, why are you avoiding conversations? What's the fear there? And take the focus off of you and put it on the reason why you're doing this work in the first place. Why did you get the certification in the first place? Why did you get into this work in the first place? I know because you guys are in my world that it wasn't just to make a ton of money. I know that. It's because you want to help people live happier, healthier lives. That's why you went and got a certification in a wellness or holistic modality, because you wanted to help people get off of Pain Island and create a transformation in their life, right? If you are not serving them and having conversations with them on how they can do that, you are not serving them. You are abandoning them. You are abandoning them on Pain Island because you are worried about yourself. Okay. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's really what's happening underneath there. So we have to just get out of our own way and say, let me just ask a couple questions and see where this person is and just have a conversation. Right. And you can always not invite somebody to work with you if you don't think it's a good fit. Okay. Not everybody it needs to be somebody that is a right fit. You meant the opposite. Okay. So, Simona, are you saying that you're foreseeing that the conversation will not lead to a future sale? Is that it? If you are foreseeing that the conversation that you're having is not going in the direction where it's going to result in somebody wanting to work with you, then you don't invite them into a conversation. Oh, okay. So you're what you're doing. She's saying no, the person I'm inviting might say no. Yeah. Okay. So you're creating a future problem that doesn't exist, right? You're standing at the basketball court at the free throw line with the basket, and you're not taking the shot because you're afraid you might miss it, right? Yeah. Well, what if I miss it? You're still not serving anybody. Well, again, you're not inviting them to make a sale. You're inviting them into a conversation to ask them if they are interested in having support. So before you even talk about your offers, you're asking them first if they are looking for support. Okay. If they say no, I'm good. I don't want any support around this. Great. Amazing. You're not going to invite them. You're not leading them anywhere. Okay. Does that make sense, Simona? Yeah. And the truth is that if you don't engage in conversations and if you don't invite somebody, they don't know how they can get support from you. But we're not inviting everybody. We're inviting people who we've connected with and said, you know what, I think I could really help you with this. Are you interested in exploring having support? If they say no, it's okay. You have to be okay with a no. You have to. Yeah. 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 So again, you have to remember that you are not cold pitching people. The messages that you were getting from the friendly hellos are cold pitches. They haven't joined your group. They haven't joined a workshop. They haven't downloaded a freebie. They haven't engaged with you yet. They haven't been in your hub. Okay? Yeah. So remember that there is a process, right? We're not going from attract to, hey, do you want to hop on a conversation and work with me? We're going from attract, let's give you some value, come in, let me nurture you, right? Here's some cookies, come have a seat, have some tea, have some coffee in my kitchen, let's have a conversation. That doesn't necessarily have to be a sales conversation, it's a connection conversation. They're in your world, they want to be in your world. These people want to be in your world. And your job as a coach is to help them create a transformation. Your job as a coach is to help them to create a transformation, not to convince them that they should want to create a transformation. So just remember, you keep your energy clean here. The moment you start feeling like you need to convince somebody, you're done, right? Like you can just say, no, your job is not to convince. Your job is to offer value and support and be a real person. I don't like those friendly hellos either, right? Like I shared that, earlier today. It was like, oh, thank you so much for being my friend. Yeah, great. So can I ask you a question? And I'm like, no, you can't because I know what you're going to ask me, right? Now, if she would have connected with me and said, oh, I met you over here, or I saw you over here, I saw your Facebook post over here, I just wanted to connect with you and just kind of like that's a different conversation. But to just cold message people who are not already in your hub and who have not already been nurtured, we're not doing that. Does that make sense? We're not doing that. If they're in your Facebook group, they have already raised their hand and asked to be part of your Facebook group. So we can then say, I'm so glad you're part of my group. How are you doing this week? Is there anything you need? Right? Yeah, I don't like the friendly hellos either. I'm down. Again, but that's a cold DM. So remember, we are not cold spamming and we are not cold DMing. We are creating conversations and relationships first. We are serving first. We are giving value. We're helping people build an experience of trust. And then we're going into the DMs to say, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad you commented. I'm so glad you downloaded, right? Those are the ways. That's the natural relationship driven way that leads to people feeling safe and trusting and open to exploring having a conversation because they know they're not going to get dragged across the finish line. Right? Is this landing for you guys? Yeah? Okay, cool. Great questions, you guys. So I want to kind of go back to the math, right? If you start 10 conversations with the right people, you will get 2 to 5 clients. Not because you're convincing people, but because you're finally talking to people who actually have a need. You're talking to people who actually have a need. Okay? So, what do I wanted to say next about this part with your conversations? When you are reaching out to those people, I want you to also write down some notes, right? It can be on a piece of paper, and you can say, reached out, lovely, asked about this. I invited her into an assessment, or where we just started the conversation, or there's no reply, or not interested, or whatever, right? And we do offer inside of Activate Abundance Academy, we have a tracker. We call it our yes list because not everybody is, again, ready to buy today. There are people in our world that we want to keep conversations going, right? And if they're not right now, that's great. Like there is nothing wrong with that. The no does not mean forever. It just means not right now for whatever reason, right? So, how many of you are willing to have 10 conversations this week? How many of you are willing? Awesome. Awesome. Come on, everybody. I want to see a 10 from everybody. Me. I will. Helen Burney, I will try. I'm going to be Yoda. There is no try. There's do or don't. Either I'm in or I'm out. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, girlie. It's a conversation. It's not an invitation to work with you. It's a conversation first, right? Okay. Cynthia, you have a question. How can I help? Did you raise your hand? Oh, okay. Your hand is raised. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, yes. Do you want 3 paying clients this week, Helen? Okay. If you want paying clients, go have the 10 conversations. If you don't want paying clients and you're good and you got all the money that you want, then why are you here? Why are you here? Right? The truth is, you guys are here because you do not have the business that you want right now, right? You don't have the clients that you want right now. You don't have the income or the cash flow. You don't have the system, right? And that was the whole intention to show you that it can be a simple system. And so I'm just going to, offer again for those of you that want my system, that want the support, that want the structure, that want to know how to guide these conversations. Activate Abundance Academy is a great place to get that because that is where we focus on the attract, the nurture, the connect, and the invite. Okay. Now, if you don't have any offers and you're not sure who your ideal client is, and you are just like brand spanking new and you're not sure what to do at all, like then Activate is probably not the best fit for you. You probably want to go into 6-figure foundations first. Okay, because that is the program that is going to help you set up the foundations, right? On day 2, when we talked about design, we talked about the foundations, right? Now, if you have an offer and if you think you know your ideal client, but you're not 100% sure, and you think you've got a couple offers, but you just aren't sure about them, that's okay. Like we will refine those inside of Activate Abundance Academy. Absolutely. Right, Jennifer, you knew Chris was going to call you out. Heck yeah. Look, you guys, when you work with me, there is no back door, right? JT, Helen, there is no back door. We are going forward, right? There is no sneaking out the back door. Why? Because I am a stand for what it is that you guys want to create here. I'm a stand for you making the impact in the world that you want to make. Okay. And I will hold that vision even when you start doubting yourself. But I will absolutely also hold the accountability and lovingly hold you to that only to help you get what you say you want, right? Like Helen said, yeah, she wants 3 paying clients. I'm saying, okay, great. This is what we're going to do. If she said, nope, I don't want paying clients, I'd be like, okay, great. Don't do it. Okay. So my job is to help you be accountable, but to also know what steps to take and in the action. So for those of you that are interested in exploring support, right? And this is really what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to join anything right now. I'm saying if you're interested in exploring what it could look like for you, if you are interested in having support, consistent clients, a steady stream of paying clients, go ahead and just pop yes in the chat. Just pop yes in the chat. If you're not interested in having any support at all, that's fine. It's okay. Again, I'm not asking you to buy anything. And if you know that you want support and you like what it is that you're hearing, and you absolutely are like, I would love to join you inside Activate Abundance Academy and have a conversation about that, then just pop Activate in. Just pop Activate. Okay. I do not try to convince or persuade anybody to join any of my programs. And I'll tell you that, and my clients that are here, Cynthia, Helen, Jennifer, you guys know that. There is no dragging anybody across the finish line. And here's why. If I have to try to convince you that you should want to grow your business and take action to grow your business, I'm going to be doing that for the next year. And I am no for that. I cannot row the boat for you. I will give you the boat. I will give you the oars. I will give you the life jacket. I will give you all of the supplies. I'll give you snacks to take with you on the journey. I promise. But I will not row your boat. I can't. I can't, right? I can't jump inside of your body and do that, right? So that is one of the reasons why I do not try to convince best taste in tea. Yes, I will give you with all, I will send you with tea. I will not try to convince you or persuade you that you absolutely have to do this or you're going to fall apart, right? No. What I will do is I will listen, and it will be a conversation. Like we're sitting on my front porch here in North Carolina, and I will ask you where you are, what are you looking for? And we will come up with something that feels good for you in the way that you want to be supported. And if I don't have something, I'll let you know. If I don't have something, I'll let you know, and I'll refer you someplace else. If I do have something, I'll let you know. But ultimately, we're all adults here. You get to make the decision. And it's okay to make a yes decision or a no decision. And that really, whenever I have a conversation in the invitation component of it, and I'm helping somebody make a decision, my only job is to help you make a decision. That's it. It's not to get the yes. It's to help somebody make a decision. Why? Because if you're not making a decision, if you're sitting on the fence, you're going nowhere. You're spinning. So my intention is, are you a yes or a no? Either way is fine. Either way is fine. I just want you to feel confident in whatever decision you're making. And look, sometimes the yes is scary too. So I will say that, right? There's a difference between a heart yes and I'm terrified. Oh my gosh, right? There's a difference between that type of yes versus no, I really want to do this, but no, I don't think I can. I really want to do this, but I don't trust myself to actually, follow through, or I don't trust myself to actually make the offers, right? By Cynthia. Yeah. So the question here that you get to ask yourself is, are you willing to build a real six-figure business? And if you are, and you want my system, and you want my support, and you want my structure, I would love to have a conversation with you. So, all right, everybody. I hope that this was helpful for you. Reminder, tomorrow is our bonus day, but it does, the bonus day is for those of you that invested in the upgrade. So it's a $47 VIP upgrade for tomorrow. So if you want to join me on that, you haven't upgraded yet, just send me a message on Facebook, reply to the emails. I'll send you the link, and we will talk about that. Otherwise, you guys stay in my world, stay in the Facebook group, continue to connect with me and reach out to me. Let me know. I want to know how these 10 conversations go for you. And if you get stuck in one of them, let me know. If you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say here, let me know. I am happy to help you with that. Okay? All right, my friends. Yeah. No, it won't, Jen. Yeah. Yeah. My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, everybody, you have a great day, and I will reach out to you, see how you guys are doing, and let me know how those conversations go. Bye.